All right. Once again, welcome to our workshop today on how to host your own giveaway. Now, we got a good number of people showed up. We got a lot more registered. I realize some people are just going to want to watch it in the replay, so don't worry about that. Anything you missed today, I will get out to you tomorrow. So we're going to keep everybody's microphones muted. This is a workshop. It's like a training session. It's not a networking event. So we're going to fly through this. We'll have some slides today, and then we'll open up the end to Q&A when I'll have you guys can unmute yourself and throw in questions, because I imagine there are going to be quite a few, because what we're tackling today is actually a really big task. And so we're going to go through that piece by piece to simplify it for you. Okay, so let me switch over to the slides and do a quick introduction of what we're going to talk about, as well as why you should trust me. Okay. So again, today's talk is how to host your own giveaway, the fastest, easiest way to get fresh leads for free. And you'll make the determination for yourself how free is free when we look at it, because if you consider the amount of time and effort you have to put into it, yes, so that's sweat labor that you're going to put into it, but it's not necessarily money out of pocket. So we'll talk about all of that today as we crank through this. I'm your host, Michael Neely. Obviously, you're on one of my lists. You were able to get the email and come on in today. This is part 4 in what I'm calling the MBA series, the Mastering Business Authority. And this is number 4. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the others today. But first of all, why you should trust me. A little bit of my history, and I'm not going to go deep into all this. I know a lot of the webinars, they dig into a whole backstory and everything. I'm going to keep it simple. I was a former professional actor, did that. My degrees are in acting, did that for 20 plus years. And then I got out of the acting business when my son was born, became an entrepreneur, have grown my business now to be a 7-figure business. And I'm the founder of the Authority Academy. That's my overarching LLC. I'm an international best-selling author of the Zero to Launch Podcast Accelerator. I'm the host of 6 podcasts, and I'm a Mensa member for what that's worth. You know, that $5 will get you a cup of coffee. And I'm a founder of the Infinite List, which we'll talk a little bit more about today. So hopefully those are enough credentials to get you to want to pay a little closer attention and listen in today as we cover these details. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of groundwork, what I like to consider the foundational aspects of what we're going to cover. So in the words of Jeff Walker, who is one of my earliest mentors, he's the creator of the product launch formula, a 10-figure entrepreneur. There are 2 rules of success in this business. Rule number 1, only sell stuff that the market really wants. And rule number 2, always be building your list. And the hands down best way to get more leads is through the use of a highly converting, irresistible free gift offer, commonly known as a lead magnet. Now, while we're not going to dig deep into lead magnets, I do recommend that you watch one of my other videos we call the Lead Magnet Makeover. If you need help with your lead magnet, that'll help get it dialed in. But what we're going to talk about today is how do you get it in front of people? Now, again, one more foundational piece so that I've got to make sure that everybody really has this dialed in your business. And those are the 3 key features of every business, no matter what it is. Number 1 is fulfillment. Now, I'm doing these kind of in reverse order. So, but we're going to start, let's say you're starting out with a business. You're going to have the thing that you deliver. Is it a product, program, services, whatever that is? That's what you fulfill on when someone purchases it. That's what you do. I'm guessing that a lot of you are coaches, entrepreneurs. And so you actually delivering on those goods. Let's say you got an online course, you deliver that. That's the fulfillment. Now, in order to fulfill, to offer your wonderful gifts to the world, we got to have sales. Now, I'm not going to talk about fulfillment today. I'm going to trust that you guys have that dialed in. And I'm not going to talk about sales either. Okay, the thing here is that you can do it in so many different ways. You can do direct sales. You can do it over the phone. You can do through events. You can do it through a webinar. I'm going to trust you also have your sales dialed in. But what we are going to do is talk about lead generation. These are the simple elements of any business. First, you got to have a lead, someone who's interested in what it is that you do, your product, program, or service. Next, you have to be able to sell to them. And then finally, you fulfill on it. But really, what giveaways are all about and what I really focus on with the Infinite List is the lifeblood of your business, which is lead generation. So you signed up for this workshop about giveaways. So let's not get too far down some of these sidelines. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, I got to define it for you because I know some of you maybe aren't fully familiar with the term giveaway, or as I see so many people in the industry, they use the word giveaway interchangeably with their lead magnet. And I want to offer the distinction that those are different, and you shouldn't use the term giveaway for your lead magnet, even though you do give it away. A giveaway is actually a collection of valuable free gifts, often in the form of lead magnets, thoughtfully curated by a single host and contributed by a diverse range of guest experts. So let's say we had everybody in the room. We're all going to be in a giveaway together. You would provide your lead magnet. Next person would provide their lead magnet. Lynn, Mary, Monique, all of you would provide your lead magnet. And then those put together create the giveaway. Kind of like, imagine it's like a gift basket. All right. So to explain it a little bit better, we're just going to play this quick video for those of you who may not be familiar. I know we have some people who are, but for those of you who aren't, hopefully this will make it more simple. Except for 1 second, I just realized I need to share with sound. You would think that they would make that automatic, but they do not. So here we go with sound. What exactly is a giveaway? At its core, a giveaway is a treasure trove of valuable free gifts, often in the form of lead magnets, thoughtfully curated by a single host and contributed by a diverse range of expert guests. Okay, that makes sense, but how does it work? Great question. First off, the host sets the stage by defining the giveaway's theme and its intended audience. For example, the Business Builders giveaway is tailored to guide entrepreneurs to their first $100,000 milestone. This targets those who are new to the entrepreneurial world or those striving to break that elusive six-figure barrier. Next, the host gathers a league of extraordinary experts, their friends and colleagues, who not only share a passion for overcoming the same challenges, but also boast a dedicated following within the target audience. These guest experts then register to participate as one of the contributors, and they provide the details of their specific lead magnet that they'd like to offer as part of the giveaway. By joining, they pledge to champion the event by sending a set number of promotional emails to their subscribers during the giveaway period. The host may gather as many as 30 contributors for the giveaway, and it's up to them to create the required pages in support of the event. These pages include the opt-in page, where all of the contributors will be sending people to sign up for the free gifts. The opt-in page will frequently show all of the cool free gifts that people will get when they subscribe. This requires a panel for each of the lead magnets submitted by the contributors. Then the host creates the access page. This is where the people who sign up for the giveaway can go to collect the individual lead magnets or gifts that they choose. Once these pages are built, the host will provide links to the opt-in page and email copy for the contributing experts to email to their list. Then we wait until the giveaway opens. On the specified dates of the giveaway, with the power of collective effort, the host, along with each contributor, fires off emails to their eager subscribers, inviting them to join the giveaway festivities. Imagine you've got 30 people emailing their list, some small and some big, reaching in excess of 60,000 people in a mere matter of days. The invitation is out and people start to check out the giveaway and the free content included therein. And they start to opt in for the giveaway, adding their name and email to the list of the host. We call these leads, as they are folks raising their hand and saying, "Hey, I want to explore what you offer." The beauty of the giveaway success lies in its outcomes. The host list flourishes, a testament to their dedication and hard work. Contributors also reap rewards, although typically not on the same scale as the host. Given the substantial effort invested in creating the giveaway, the host will typically charge anywhere from $97 to $300 for a basic spot, with featured positions commanding over $500. Savvy contributors gladly invest in these opportunities. With minimal effort, mainly a few well-timed emails, they access leads far more effectively than traditional advertising. These leads are warm, nurtured by colleagues who've already established a connection. Sure, some giveaways are free, but they often yield lackluster results, leaving contributors unsatisfied. At the Infinite List, we do the heavy lifting for our members. Even when our members decide to host their own giveaway, we build the pages, create the swipe copy, wrangle the guests, and more. Plus, our members get to participate in any of the hundreds of giveaways we run without any additional charge. It's all included in membership. To learn more about giveaway specifics, check out our other videos on this page. All right, so that gives you a general idea of that. That just jumped to our regular video channel there on YouTube. So I'm just going to flip this slide up here just for a moment. For those of you who may not already be subscribed to our YouTube channel, if you want to check it out, as I mentioned, the lead magnet makeover is there. If you want to go check that out to learn more about the lead magnet, we have a lot of other training videos over there. So hopefully you'll subscribe. Now, moving on though, hosting your own giveaway. So now we're going to start. I hope that gave you a better idea of what a giveaway is, how it works as an overview. Now we're going to dig into the depths of it. Okay, so first and foremost are the giveaway needs. These are the 3 key pages that must be created in order to run the giveaway. You got to have these 3 pages, and I'll show you some samples of these as we go through. Number 1 is your registration page. What do I mean by registration page? Okay, I'm going to stop share of that, and then I'm going to jump over to show you an actual registration page that we have built for one of our giveaways. This particular giveaway is called the Entrepreneur's Toolkit. Now, the registration page, keep this in mind, if you're the host of a giveaway, you're the organizer, you are the facilitator, you're the curator, you need to invite people to contribute and put their free gifts in your gift basket. And in order for them to do that, you need to create this, what's called a registration page. Now, on the registration page, and we'll dig deeper into some more of this in some slides as well, but this is kind of a sample of it, of what you'll need to do. Now, before we go to it, I'm going to jump back over to the slide, but I just wanted to give you a sample of a quick view of the page that you would need to create. And we're going to jump back and forth between slides and real screenshots here. So you're going to have to create the registration page. That is for the contributors. That's only going to be what you use to invite people to play with you. The next page that you have to create with that is the checkout page. Now, here's the thing, and we'll cover this a little more in depth in a bit, but when someone decides to play with you, and there are giveaways that are free, don't get me wrong, there certainly are, and you could invite people to play for free, but guess what? You're doing a boatload of work, and most people who are hosting giveaways charge people to participate. And what they're paying for is leads, essentially, okay? But they're also paying because you as the host, you've got to build the pages, you got to wrangle the guests, you got to create the swipe copy. You'll see everything we need to do today, and you'll understand why you're probably going to want to charge. And when you're doing that, you're going to need to have a checkout page. And we'll show you a sample of that in a little bit too. But the next big page you have to create once the giveaway is ready to go open, go live, you need the opt-in page. And we'll to show you guys samples of all of these. We'll jump around. But the opt-in page is where the people are going to go when everybody starts to mail. They send people there to opt in for the giveaway as a whole. And once they've opted in, then they get the access page. And that's where they actually are able to collect the free gifts from all of the different contributors. Okay, now we're going to break these down page by page to give you a little more depth and detail of each one. Okay, we call this the 5D registration page. Now I'm going to run through these, and then I'm going to show you on the page. Okay, so the 5Ds, I did this just to make it easy to remember these things that you need on your registration page. The dates of your giveaway, the details of the giveaway, like who's the target audience, what should the gifts kind of encompass, what should they be supporting and helping with, those kind of details. The dedication, what does this mean? What you're expecting them to do to dedicate their effort in the giveaway. All right. So you're going to want to make sure that you cover that element. Deadlines. When does it start? When do they need their materials to you? Things like that. And finally, dollars. How much are you charging for it? So I tried to make this simple with the 5 Ds: dates, details, dedication, deadlines, and dollars. Now let's go over and take a deeper look at that registration page I was showing. Okay. Details of the giveaway. We start with the dates of the giveaway. You see here, the promo window is June 5th to June 25th of 2023. This is an older giveaway that we ran last year. And this is important to have the dates because that is when your contributor is going to have to mail for it. And if they're already promoting something else or they're busy and they can't do it, they are immediately excluded from even being a potential contributor for your giveaway. So you have to have the dates there. Next are the details about the giveaway. This giveaway, the Entrepreneur's Toolkit giveaway, is targeted to, that's who the target audience is, visionary speakers of all levels who are looking for, this is what the promise of it is, tips, tools, and tactics to grow their business with speed and ease. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense as far as the details go. All right, let's clear that. Next up is dedication. This is what are you expecting from the people who are participating? So as we scroll down here, contributor requirements, the dedication, they have to be dedicated to promote. They're agreeing to send 3 solo emails over a 3-week period, and they agree to post no fewer than 3 social media announcements over the 3-week period. Okay, that's what they're dedicating to do as a participant here. And then finally, the deadlines. When do they need their materials to you? Okay, this one happens to be May 29th because the giveaway opens on June 5th. So you need to be sure that you have time to get everything together. And then the dollars. The last D is how much are you charging for your giveaway? Now, typically giveaways go for roughly $250 for basic, $500 for a featured spot. Okay, and so obviously you can price it however you want, but you're going to want to, kind of figure out what works for you as you're doing all of the labor built in here. I also want to jump back up to a little piece that I kind of glossed over a little bit in the details here. You get to set the standard for the list size. This particular one, you have to have a minimum list size of 1,000 to participate. And the reason you're going to want to do this, I want to be real clear, and think of it too in terms of both as a host and then potentially as a guest. If you're looking at a giveaway that maybe you want to be a guest contributor in, if there is no limit, if there is no bottom line, I want you to think of it in these terms, then someone with a list of 0 could be in your giveaway because you didn't set a minimum list size requirement. So someone with no list can jump in. And if someone with no list jumps in and they mail to no people, that doesn't help your giveaway at all, right? And if you get a whole bunch of people with very, very small to non-existent lists, that giveaway is going to tank. You need to set some form of a minimum so that you can increase the reach of the giveaway. Everybody with me on that? I can see a few of you there. Okay, I see the nods going on. Great. Okay, so those are the 5 Ds, the dedication, dates, details, dedication, deadlines, and dollars of this particular page. Now, I mentioned about the checkout page as well. So I'm just going to show you real briefly. You also have to build the page so that when someone clicks to join and pay, it needs to open up a checkout page for them in which they can provide you with their credit card and information. Okay, so that they can pay for that particular giveaway. So you have to be set up to collect. You have to be set up in your system to do all of the above. All right. Next, let's go back over to slides again. Okay, checkout page. I just mentioned that, but again, here I want to talk a little bit about why. This is going to offset your costs because you're going to have to put in some labor. And if it's not you, then maybe you're going to pay a team member to do it, but you've got to build these pages. And that's going to take some labor. And you have to have the platform in which to run it. As you're setting up the checkout page, determine if you want to have a featured spot. And let me real quickly just tell you the difference between the two. Basic means they're going to just randomly get put on the page with everybody else, and it's just kind of a free-for-all, and they are where they are. Featured, if you want to do a featured spot, What we do in our world when I run giveaways is the featured spot gets two great benefits. Number one, they're going to be one of the top 5 gifts on the list. The value in that, by the way, is that if someone is scrolling down, deciding on which gifts they're going to opt in for, the earlier ones they come across have a little bit better chance of getting opted in for. If it's way down at the bottom, less chance, because by that point, maybe they've already picked 7 or 8 gifts and they're starting to get a little tired or burned out on it. So you want to be up closer to the top. So that's a featured spot, and people will pay a little extra for that. The other thing we do with featured spots is in the swipe copy. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. We'll put their name and their gift in the email that goes out to everybody. So they're getting greater exposure in that way. Their name is being heard. Their gift is being promoted in advance. So that's another one of the nice perks of a featured spot. And people will often pay twice as much for that. They're very popular in giveaways, and they sell really fast, and they'll sell out. So levels of contribution. The pros and cons of charging versus not charging. I wanted to kind of cover this as far as checkout pages go, if you even want to do that. The value of it is when you charge someone, they have some skin in the game. If someone just jumps in for free, they can go, oh yeah, I jumped into that giveaway, and then they forget about it. But if they've paid for it, they've got some skin in the game, and that tends to make it they're a little more serious about their business and what they do than someone who just goes, oh yeah, it's free, I'll just jump in, and then they don't really do anything. So that's one of the upsides of it. The downside is, and this is where you get to decide, because it is your giveaway. If someone approaches me outside of our Infinite List community and says, Michael, I would love for you to be in my giveaway, and I'm considering it, the dates look fine and everything, but they want to charge me, I'll often reach out and go, look, we run so many giveaways through my own community that I don't pay to be in giveaways anymore. And if they really want me in there, and here's the key, I've got a really big list. And so that also helps, because they know it'll drive more traffic. They'll often say, okay, we'll let you in for free. Here's a coupon code. So that is, it could be a con on the downside that some people may say, I don't want to pay. But if you learn how to use that strategically with a coupon code, you can still invite people with larger lists who may not normally want to pay, but are willing to jump in. Everybody following this? How you can kind of revert that, as turn it from a down into your benefit by saying, for you, here's a coupon code and you can come in for free. All right. The other downside, though, of not charging is, like I said, you get a lot of people in it who don't have that commitment. They don't have the real skin in the game. And when you do that, it'll be a lot easier for you to get people, but often they're going to be people who aren't as savvy in the game, because those who know the game, frequently they're willing to pay, because we understand that it's boils down to a cost per lead. All right. And so what I like to do with my giveaways is, or any giveaway that I'm looking to be in, is I like to get my giveaway or my leads for less than $1 each. So if I pay $250 to be in a giveaway, I would like to get 250 leads out of that. Now, that doesn't always happen. And sometimes maybe I only get 125 and I'm paying $2 a lead. That's still way better than Facebook ads. All right. So keep that in mind. And your checkout page and pricing, you'll find, especially the more you play in the industry, the more you see, the more you get invited to giveaways, you'll see that the prices are kind of in the same general zone. I often see giveaways now, $197, $250, $297 for a basic spot. Usually the advanced spots are going to be $497 and up from there, the featured spots. But it is kind of like what the standard is in the industry. All right. And finally, as I mentioned, free does not necessarily equal good. I've seen plenty of free giveaways, and sometimes what happens in the free giveaway is, because it's free and the host is not getting any money to do it, they do a really slack job. They don't spend the extra effort to really beautify the pages. They don't spend the extra effort to really make better graphics and imagery, and you can kind of see it in the quality of the giveaway. So free does not necessarily equal good. All right, next up, your opt-in page. As I mentioned, this is where you're going to collect your leads, okay? I recommend well, kind of a minimalist approach. And you'll understand why in a moment when I show you a page. But typically, you're going to want to go with a minimalist approach. The way that we're going to show you how to do it will help you to increase conversions, and you'll understand why. And your opt-in page, think of it in this way. Number one, you got to get people to the page. And number two, when they land on the page, it's got to be exciting enough to make them go ahead and opt in. Give your the name and email. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to increase conversions and how you can use this to build trust. We're going to demonstrate that because you definitely want to build trust on your opt-in page. And finally, you're going to need to make it trackable. Okay, so let's stop share and go over and look at an opt-in page. Okay, so this particular opt-in page is for one of our giveaways called Influence and Authority Growth Bundle. Notice everything that where the name and email is entered is above the fold. Above the fold, in case you're not familiar with that, it means they don't have to scroll down to find it. When someone goes to the page, boom, it's right there above the fold. Yes, there is an area to scroll down here. We're going to cover that in a moment. But first and foremost, I wanted to be sure that that's there. And this is somewhat of a minimalist approach. People could come here, realize it, jump in. They can see what it says the benefit is. Maximize your podcast, video, and stage presence in the Influence Authority Growth Bundle. Get free access to this treasure trove of tools designed specifically for the visionary entrepreneur that you are. Enter your name and email. When I talk about building trust, this is a line that is going to help with that. Okay, you've all seen them before. That's basically saying we're not going to add you to a whole bunch of lists. We're not going to spam you. And you have the option to unsubscribe at any time. Okay, this sets up a little better trust so that people are familiar. But now, here's what I recommend to really help you increase conversions. I want you to think in terms of the person who's just landed on this page. Let's say they start scrolling down. This giveaway, of course, is over, so it's showing the time is down to 0. But what I like to do is on that page, I show them all of the gifts they're going to get. They can't get them from here, but they can see them all. And the reason I like to do this is because as they scroll through, they may have been on the fence about whether to get it or not. And now they may see just one gift and they go, oh, that's a great gift. I'm going in just for that. Okay. They jump in all because of one thing. And so here you see, and they can scroll down and they can check out all the really cool stuff they're going to get. And you put it all here. So they start to get excited about, wow, I'm going to get all of these free tools. This sounds like a really good deal. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. So they opt in and now they're on the host email list. Okay. But now here's the thing. I mentioned that you need to make it trackable. Okay. So what you're going to have to do is make sure that the link to this page, to the opt-in page, is trackable so that you know which of your contributors sent them. We'll cover more of that in a little bit. So we're going to jump out and jump back over to slides. Hope you all aren't getting dizzy with all the back and forth here. Okay, back to the slides. Affiliate tracking is, as I was mentioning, absolutely necessary. You need to know, especially so that you can wrangle them. One of the tough jobs of hosting is making sure your contributors are honoring their commitment. And the only way to know that is to track, did they send some opt-ins? Because if you've got 30 people playing in there and 5 of them you see they haven't sent a single opt-in, you need to get on top of it and let those people know. Say, hey, what's going on? It's time. Did you mail yet? We got no opt-ins. Let's get on. So there are a couple of ways to do the tracking. It helps you to know who's mailing and who's not. And you can also use it to make it competitive because you can put out a weekly leaderboard. These are the top people who are sending us the most opt-ins, and everybody gets to see that. And so those who are driven by that competitive nature will jump in there, but also it could make those who really aren't doing much compelled to go, oh yeah, I better get in here. I should be up higher on that list. Okay. So you want to make it a little bit competitive with your tracking. Promoting your leaderboard, be sure to get that out in a weekly email to your participants to your contributors so that they know what's going on. And as far as the affiliate tracking goes, there are a lot of CRMs that have it built in. And if you don't have that, there are standalone trackers as well. Okay. And a standalone would be something like there's a service, ThriveCart, which you could set up an affiliate link through that, and then it will actually track who that is. So who sent it, and you give them their specific link. All right. So these are some of the things you're definitely going to want to do. Okay, and let's see here. Next up, what to do about people who don't mail. Okay, this is always a kind of one of those areas that is tough. And I'm going to share with you a couple of industry standards on this. I'm going to go ahead and stop share for the moment. Well, just talk to you guys. One of the things that I've seen done in this that I'm not a fan of, because I think it creates, I always like to create win-win-win. And when you create something that is win, lose, lose, that to me is not very wise. And what I'm talking about is I've been in giveaways where they have a kind of a threshold that says, okay, if you're going to be in my giveaway, you need to send 100 opt-ins. And if you don't send 100 opt-ins by this particular date, we're going to remove you from the giveaway. Okay. Now, the reason I don't like this is, for one, people who have signed up and opted in early, they're already starting to see all the gifts in there. And if you remove somebody, now your giveaway that did have 30 items, now it's got 25 items, 24 items. So it starts to dwindle in value. So that's one reason that I don't like it. The other reason is that there's a little bit of, I'm not a fan of shaming in any which way or form. And so that's kind of a shaming market. But I've seen it where people have actually called out people on it as well and said they're being kicked out because they didn't send anything or haven't met this threshold. To me, that's just not cool. So I'm not a fan of it, but there are people who do that. What I recommend instead is just be on a regular basis communicating to your contributors. And if someone is getting zeros or if they're getting low numbers, just be sure to keep reminding them, hey, did you get a mail out? Are you going to plan another one? Your numbers are kind of low. Can you do a little bit more promo to get your numbers up? And the final piece is really understand that not everybody's created equal. Okay. So it's another reason I don't like the threshold. For someone who joins your giveaway, who has a list of 10,000, to send 100 opt-ins is pretty easy. But if you let someone in who only has 1,000, and that was the threshold you set, well, it's going to be hard for them to send 100 opt-ins. So you need to really keep that in mind before you start to apply those kinds of rules. Everybody with me on that? Is that making sense? All right, cool. So next up, let's go to the all access page. Now, I call this the all access page. It's where you're going to deliver the goods. You can call it whatever you want. It could be the thank you page, the congratulations page, whatever you want to call it. I call it access because it's that page where you actually deliver the goods. Now, here's the key about building this page. Okay. It's in one way, it's simple. In another way, it's hard. So let me just cover a little bit of what goes on it. You're going to create the panels. As you saw before, every gift, I call them panels, and I usually alternate colors so that it breaks them up a little bit so that it's just not a straight white flow of one after another. I try to alternate colors that are on brand, and I call those panels. So you're going to have to create a panel for every single gift that is in the giveaway. Okay. Next, you're going to have to wrangle your contributors. Okay, that means you've got to make sure that they have sent you the title of the gift, the description of the gift, the graphic for the gift, and the link for the gift. You need all four of those to really have it look great and work well. And so you have to make sure you've collected it and that those are all working, and you have to get it from all of the people who are your contributors. And then you're going to want to test those links. Because keeping in mind, when a giveaway is in operation, you're the host, you're also customer service. And so when those links don't work, they're reaching out to you to say, hey, I just signed up for that free gift in there, and this link, I couldn't get my free gift. They get upset, and you're going to want to be able to take care of that. Okay. So test the links. That's what you'll have to do for that page. And like I said, you are customer service here. So you're going to want to make sure that as you are handling this, get all your ducks in a row to make it simple. Okay. I'm going to do a stop share and we're going to jump over to an all access page. Okay. So first, we're going to hop right back to the opt-in page. And similarly, the panels, I've already built the panels. Now, I will tell you this is a little trick. I'm going to give you all a shortcut here. Once you've built your opt-in page, clone it to make your access page. Make it identical. The only difference is you're going to turn on buttons. You're just going to add calls to action for each thing. Okay. So this is, you can see the format, the general layout. I'm going to use a different giveaway, but still the general idea is you can see the panels are all there. The difference is they have a button to get access. Okay. Every gift now will have to have its own button. And those are the ones that will send the participant to their checkout pages, to their opt-in pages, not yours. You don't have to worry about building them, but you do have to make sure that every one of your guests has sent you a link that is working. Okay. So we'll even just do one here as kind of a test. The best anger elimination method you could use. By the way, this giveaway is over. I'm not sure this link will still work, but we're going to give it a try. And there it is. And so this is that person's opt-in page for their free gift. You need to make sure that every one of these work so that it reduces your customer service error. Okay. So just wanted to be sure that you got this about the access page. Now, while we're here, I'm going to just show you a couple more things. As I mentioned, the gifts up top are usually going to be from your featured people who paid a little extra to be up top. What I recommend you also do is the host should be way down at the bottom. I'm actually going to use this one because we hosted this here. And I can show you specifically the ideas of a host. As the host, I suggest you put yourself at the bottom. Now, not all hosts do this. I do it, and I recommend you do it because guess what? You're already getting every single lead that comes in. So why do you need to put an extra gift, your gift up top, and someone opts in for that? Guess what? You've already got their name and email. What I recommend for the host is put your stuff at the bottom, and because you are the host, you could put more panels for yourself. Okay. At the Infinite List, we allow our host to have 4 panels on the giveaway. Why would you do that? I just said the host gets every name. Here's why I would do it. Now you can bucket those people. Okay. So as an example, in this particular giveaway, this one's the Influence and Authority one, is it not? Yes. Influence and Authority Growth Bundle. Okay. So I have several gifts down here at the bottom. And the first one is the Lead Magnet Playbook. So now I know people who signed up, they're interested in influence and authority, but are they also interested in growing their lead magnet? Okay, growing that. So this will help me to bucket those people. And now I know those who picked this gift, they're also interested in that. Because this is about influence and authority, we had at this point in time, we ran this, we had a live stream free. Because it's free, it's still kind of a gift, an extravaganza, a 5-hour live stream that was available for people to sign up for. So we promoted that. We promoted our second annual Podcasters Cruise, which just happened a couple months ago. So we were promoting that. And as the host, I also promoted my free gift and how to launch a rockin' podcast, because that helps you grow influence and authority. So I now know someone who came into this, which I get it, but then also I know, oh, they're interested in podcasting. Does this make sense? How as the host, you can bucket out and stretch more value out of that giveaway for yourself. But again, I put those all down at the bottom. All right, so that is the access page. Now, let's go to the part some of y'all may be dreading about, maybe not. Hopefully we have some tech folks in the place. Monique's still, no, I don't want to hear this. This is when we're going to talk about tech. Okay, because you do have to build the pages, you have to make sure everything is working well. And what I like that I think works best is Kajabi or similar. Those pages you were just looking at, I built all of those in Kajabi. And I really like Kajabi. It's one of my favorite CRMs out there. It is a CRM combination, okay, which really would work best is because your CRM can also send your emails and build your pages. Some CRMs don't, they're not as good as page builders, but those that do, that's a combination. And so many more of them now are doing more and more. So a good combination is great. And by that, I mean, you can build your pages there. It'll do your email delivery all together, which is absolutely wonderful. And your affiliate tracking. Kajabi does that as well. So if you have it kind of all under one roof, I find that that works really well. And hopefully you guys will dig that too. Now, as far as tech goes, obviously it's up to you. I know a lot of people are using a lot of different platforms, and we're just going to keep this platform agnostic. But generally speaking, you're going to want to be able to build all your pages together. So for my landing pages, the registration, the opt-in, the access page, I use Kajabi. And by the way, I'll put these links in the YouTube when it goes up on YouTube for the replay. I'll have the links below there if you're interested. And if you do choose to sign up for Kajabi or Entreport and you do it through my link, I'll be notified, of course. These are affiliate links. And what I do for my affiliates who sign up to them is I give you an hour of training on it, one-on-one. So if you do sign up for one of those, let me know and I'll help you to get onboarded and get it up and running smoothly. Now, for my CRM, that's my emailing service and my checkout pages, because I think Entreport does better checkout pages. That's where I collect the money. I use Entreport. Okay, so I use these two interchangeably. I love them both, and they work great. Okay, swipe copy. Now, you want to maximize your promotions. And for those of you who may not be interested in those of you who may not have heard of the term swipe copy, it is, well, the truth of the matter is a lot of people, you guys are all, I'm sure, super busy. And when it comes to sending out emails, it can be a chore to sit down and write an email to promote a giveaway that you didn't even create. You put your free gift in there, but the host created it. Okay, so most of your people, your contributors, they don't want to write those emails. Some will, and that's great because it'll probably do better. But you, as the host, need to make swipe copy that they can all use. Okay, and you make it sound like it's coming from them in their voice as opposed to yours. They'll have, of course, fine tune it after that. So in order to maximize your promotions, you as a host, and by the way, you could hire a copywriter if you want to, but otherwise it's on you. You're going to create some cool subject lines. What are subject lines that are going to, number one, get people to open the email? Remember, you got 30 contributors playing in your giveaway. They're going to be blasting their list with these emails. What subject lines are going to get those people to open those emails? You want that open rate to go up. Multiple email options. Okay. What do I mean by this? Well, what you're going to want to give people the opportunity to mail over a certain period of time. Okay. And you're going to want to give them different, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a different feel or vibe. So one email that you put, you're going to provide them more than one. When you create swipe copy, you're going to have to provide 4 or 5, maybe 6 different emails. One email vibe may give it some urgency. Another one may be all about value, benefit. So you're going to want to give them multiple options so that they can choose from that. All right. Social media posts, same thing. You're going to want to provide, especially if you're asking them to do 3 social media posts, you want to give them probably, 5 to choose from at least. So keep that in mind as you're doing it as well, that you want to make sure that your people, the contributors, have plenty to play with. And finally, you're going to be sure in your swipe copy, you're featuring contributors' gifts. Okay, so whatever their gifts are, those 5 people that you sold featured spots to, mention their name and their gift in the swipe copy. That's part of the benefit of being featured. They paid extra for it. Everybody following on this? Nods of heads. Okay, great, cool. Don't forget graphics. If you see any of my other stuff on lead magnets, I'm always talking about how packaging helps you convert. Same thing will happen with your giveaway. You want to make a great banner for it. And you're also going to want to, in addition to your main banner, you're probably going to want to create an all expert banner. You may have seen these floating around on different social posts and stuff where it'll be, here's the giveaway banner. You'll see the banner giveaway title up top. And then it might have photos of all 30 contributors, just little thumbnail headshots of each of the 30 contributors. We call that the all expert banner. You can do it if you want to. Not everybody does, but it can be good. And then for your individual contributors, you want to give them an image that they can use to promote on their social accounts, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, it's no longer Twitter, is it? X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever it is that they promote. Okay, so do those for the individual contributors and give them sizing options because some it may be a little bit better if it's banner style, some may be better as a square. So be sure to create a couple of varieties. We usually do two, one a little more banner and one a square. And branding. The other reason you want to do this on the graphics is it's your giveaway. Your giveaway, especially if you do this year after year after year, is your branded giveaway. And people may start going, man, I really love that giveaway. It comes around every year around this time. I really like it. Always cool free gifts. Have your brand show out. Okay. And you do that through your graphics. All right. Okay. Let's take a breath. We're going to dig now into the red flags. The red flag giveaways, what's not working. And I want you to look at this again from two perspectives. One is if you are looking at other giveaways that other people are doing that maybe you got invited to be in. I'm always looking for what are the red flags? What are the things that would make me say, no, thank you, and head the other direction? So similarly, as the host, don't do these things because savvy entrepreneurs will avoid you like the plague. Okay. For the most part. One is if it's generically targeted. Now, there are a couple generically targeted giveaways that I will get into on occasion simply because I know the person creating it. And it's like, okay, I'm your friend, so I'll jump in. But normally I wouldn't. A generic giveaway could be the Thanksgiving giveaway. Okay. There's no target market, is there? So you might have one person who's a contributor who's into fitness and they teach people how to lose weight and get in shape. And another person jumps into the Thanksgiving giveaway and they teach people how to do business and make money. And another one jumps in and they teach people how to find the love of their life. Well, guess what? Those people, the fitness person and the relationship person, if I'm the business person, they don't have the people on their list that I'm interested in. So my value just drops dramatically. The giveaway is too broad and generic. So I will usually avoid those like the plague. Next up, too many contributors. This is really weird too. It's one of those things that seems a little bit counterintuitive, and especially for a host who I think it shows their naivety. When a host will reach out to me and go, I'm running this giveaway. You really should jump in. It's going to be amazing. We've got 80 contributors. I'm like, nope, see you later. Okay. That's too many people. The only person who wins when there are 80 contributors is the host. That's the only person. The contributors lose because your gift is going to get lost amongst those 80. And I promise you, the contributors are not going to sign up for 80 different free things. They're going to be very selective because there's way too many. And so the contributor loses. And you know who else loses? The participants. Someone jumps in, they go, oh, this is a cool giveaway, 80 gifts. That might sound exciting at first. Then they start going through them and then they get burned out. Or they are so excited, they collect all 80 and then they don't do anything on any of them. So too many contributors, red flag. I've run hundreds of giveaways. I found the sweet spot to be around 30. Sometimes at the infinite list, we'll go up as high as 35, but we don't do more than that. It's too many. All right. Next up, no requirements. We talked a little bit about this earlier. If there are no minimum list size requirements, it's not good. because again, you'll get a bunch of people with smaller lists, and especially that's scary for someone with a big list. Now, I want you guys to think of it now in these terms, especially if you've never run a giveaway before. If you reach out to someone with a big list and say, oh, there's no minimum list size requirement, well, that means the person with the big list is probably going to be carrying everybody else. A person with a big list wants that minimum threshold to be higher. Okay. So keep that in mind and do not set it up with no list size requirements. Short availability. This one, it just baffles me. I don't get this, but so many people, they run a giveaway, they do all this work, which I've just shown you, all the pages you got to build, the wrangling, everything, and then they keep it open for a week. I'm like, why? Who does it serve to only have it open for a week? It's harder on me as a contributor because now, especially if you ask me to mail 3 times and the doors are only open for a week and I got to mail it 3 times in 1 week, you're crazy. So I wouldn't do that. And the other part is there's no value in it in keeping it short. Why not expand it? And here's the other reason it's valuable to expand it. Let's say Lynn decides, oh, I'm going to jump into this giveaway. And she jumps in that first week and she grabs a few gifts, but she starts to go, okay, that's enough. Well, but I'm going to send Lynn a reminder a week later and go, hey, Lynn, it's still open. Do you want to go back and get anything you may have missed? So you have an opportunity for someone to come back in multiple times and grab more of the freebies. So make it longer. We run ours for 3 weeks. We feel like 3 weeks is a good sweet spot to keep the doors open and get plenty of people in with ease. And it makes it easier for your contributors to mail 3 times over a 3-week period. All right. So short availability, red flag for me. And finally, minimal reach. The reverse of too many contributors is too few. I've been in a giveaway with like 8 people and I'm like, okay, well, that's not really getting a whole lot of reach out there. It's fine. It can be fine, especially if the lists are highly targeted. And hey, it could be 8 people with really big lists. So it's not necessarily just about the quantity, but typically with only 8 contributors in a giveaway, you're going to find lackluster results due to minimal reach. All right. Any questions in red flag before we go over? If you all just pop, if you've got a question, just raise your virtual hand in there and then I can jump in at any point, or you can type your question in the chat too, by the way. Okay, now let's talk about what does work. What makes for a top-notch giveaway? Number one, it's highly targeted. Highly targeted is so much better for you because you won't be, squandering your effort because you're in a giveaway that, is all over the map. Instead, we like to run those very highly targeted. So we have the speakers giveaway. We know the people who opt in for that giveaway are typically interested in speaking. And if you do anything to service speakers, that's a giveaway you should be in. Keep it highly targeted. It's going to serve you way better when you do. Perfect number of contributors. As I mentioned, we found the sweet spot to be 30. You can still run a giveaway effectively with 20. And we find that after 35, you start to get diminishing results for the participants and some of the contributors. So sweet spot, typically 30, but up to 35. Reasonable requirements. The requirements are typically, you want to make your list size reasonable. And I will say this too. We like to keep ours at the infinite list at about 1,000. And we have found that people with a small list actually do pretty well a lot of times as far as percentage wise goes. What do I mean by that? We've had people with a list of 10,000 be in a giveaway and they're promoting it just fine. And maybe they send 100 opt-ins. So based on list size, that's 1%. Okay. Whereas a person who comes in with a list of 1,000, same giveaway, same effort mailing, but their list is 1/10. But that person with a list size of 100, 1,000, they may get 50 opt-ins, which means they're bringing in 5%. So percentage-wise of people with a smaller list, they tend to be a little bit more engaged. Okay. So I think 1,000 is a good minimum list size requirement. And having people mail 3 times, especially if you're keeping it open for 3 weeks, I think 3 emails and 3 social posts is very reasonable. Greater accessibility. That's again the 3 week window there. When you let it stay open, you're going to reach more people. You've got more time for people to, by the way, I've had this happen. Imagine some of you from time to time. I'll send an email inviting somebody to something, and I find that they don't opt in for that thing until it's already done 2 weeks later, and all of a sudden they opt in. And I'm like, that happened already 2 weeks ago. They're just now getting the email or just now opening it anyway. So that's also why I think it's better to keep it open for a longer period of time, because even though you emailed, people may not open it for a while. And finally, optimized reach. When you really combine the number of emails that are going to be going out. Okay, that's your number of people that you have contributing and their list sizes. When you combine that with the requirements that you make for how many times they email and the number of weeks it's open, you're really optimizing your reach. All right. So I'm going to, oh, good. We got some chat going on here now. Let's see what we have available. Entreport and Kajabi, do they connect to each other? They do in the best ways. They don't connect as far as like part of a tied in system, but how they connect is it's very easy. Like on an opt-in page in Kajabi, like as a matter of fact, we have an event coming up where people will opt in Kajabi, but the form when they opt in, it puts them in my list in Entreport. I mean, it's that well, they play that well together. And if someone buys one of my programs, all of my courses are housed over in Kajabi. But if someone pays for one of my programs over in Entreport, you create a webhook, which enrolls them over in Kajabi. So they do play extremely well together, which is why I love them both. And I've been using them both, gosh, almost since the beginning. Someone asked if you'd be able to play playback for this. Yes, it will be available on YouTube, or maybe, hey, if you're watching this replay already on YouTube, you found us here. I've been part of a giveaway and they had a condition of no offering. Yeah, there's some giveaways that you jump into are going to put requirements on you. I kind of think it's a little bit silly. And what the question revolves around, and it's a good question because it is true. People do this. Here, I'm going to stop share so you guys can see as we'll talk through a few things. They may have a requirement that says you won't sell to anybody who gets onto your list. You won't sell to them for 15 days or something like that. Typically, they're doing that because the host of the giveaway wants to sell to them. Okay. That's the only reason that someone would put that in there. I don't mess with that. I think it's silly. If someone wants to buy from you, buy from you. If they're more interested in buying from you, why wouldn't they? I mean, it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't buy from me as well. I don't make those rules, and I think it's a silly one. And then someone asking about a discovery call. Personally, I don't think discovery calls are great lead magnets. But here's how your question could play into that is where I would put a discovery call. If you're going to offer it, I would have the lead magnet gets them into your world. And on the thank you page, I would offer a discovery call. And I've got no problem if people want to do that. But to each their own. I just don't like that rule. What if you yourself are just starting and don't have much of a list yet? Yeah, that's a great question. I love this one, especially because when I was first starting out in this business, and this is why I'm teaching this workshop today. As a matter of fact, when I first started out in this business about 10 years ago, I had no list, but I knew some people in the industry, and I was starting to, kind of like get a feel for how the industry worked. And someone was running a giveaway that I knew personally. And I said, hey, could I be in your giveaway? And they said, well, how big is your list? And I said, well, it's only about 300 right now. And they're like, well, no, you have to have a list size bigger. I was like, oh, okay. And I get it, why they didn't let me in, because my list size was too small. And so what did I do? I went out and did my own giveaway. So that's the thing. Is why I'm teaching you this today. Create your own giveaway. It's a great way to get your list up over 1,000 really fast. It's a lot of work, as I'm mentioning, but you're starting to get a feel for it now as we're going through this. but that will get you kickstarted in the space. Now, that said, at the infinite list, we get it. And I'm going to share more about the infinite list in a little bit, but we get that. We all started with no list. And so what we do is we will indeed allow people into a giveaway, even if they've got zero. Even if they're below that 1,000 threshold, we will allow up to 3 participants in a giveaway with us. We call it the small list members. And we will allow up to 3 because we know that 3 will not kill the giveaway. All right. The giveaway will still do very well, even if those 3 people have small lists, and those 3 people will grow their list. And then you do a few giveaways like that, and then pretty soon they'll be over 1,000 anyway. And so, yes, we do allow people with the smaller list in there. So no worries. Okay. And Monique, you've got your hand up. So I'm going to jump to your question, and then we will get back into slides.
Thank you, Michael. This is
You bet.
fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I came. My question is about infinite lists. Do you have a minimum requirement of list size to host a giveaway?
No, as a matter of fact, we don't. Much like I said when I went out and did my own, and that's what's cool is as the host, you set the parameter. Doesn't mean you have to be in the parameter yourself because you're the one creating it. You're doing all the hard work and the labor, so you deserve the bigger list that the host gets because the host collects the master list. The individuals get only the ones that opt into their gifts. So yeah, there's no minimum requirement for that at all. So
Yay!
yeah. Great question, and thanks for asking. Okay.
One follow-up question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure. No worries.
It what are some like 1 to 2 strategies that you would suggest if, as a member of Infinite List, I wanted to host my own giveaway and I don't have a huge list myself?
Okay. Perfect. You set me up. It's almost like I trained you for this, Monique, because here's our next slide that we're moving into, and that is finding expert contributors. Okay. So the requirement that we have at Infinite List, if you're going to host a giveaway, we have a community of people who love giveaways. So we're going to help you to fill most of it. As a matter of fact, about 90% of it. What we expect of our host is the host needs to enroll 4 people in their giveaway who are not current members. Okay, we do this because it helps to expand the growth of the community and go outside our own pool of membership. Okay, where do you find expert contributors? So I'm going to give you guys a lowdown on this. First and foremost, you would invite your own peers and colleagues. Who do you know? Who would be good, especially after you've decided on what's the theme and title of your particular giveaway? Who would be great in that space? Who do you know who coaches and has something that would serve that particular promise of the giveaway? So your own peers and colleagues. A great place to look is other giveaways. And by the way, for anybody watching this, my recommendation is sign up for every giveaway that comes along. You can always opt out later. Don't worry about that. Opt in for every giveaway and start to look who's in it. Who are the other players in that giveaway? And if you're going to host a giveaway, especially sign up for the giveaways that are a fit and look for, oh, that gift would be really good for my giveaway. Let me figure out how to reach out to that person. Opt in for their gift, probably. Opt in for their lead magnet, and then make that connection and then invite them. Say, hey, I saw you put your gift in this other giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway. I'd like to have you in mine. Okay. Other giveaways is a great resource. Referrals from friends. Very simply, when especially someone who's agreed to be in your giveaway, hey, by the way, do you know anybody else who'd be good for this? Because here's the thing in the world of giveaways. This other part I remember from when I first started out was I knew a few people, but I certainly didn't know everybody. I still don't know everybody. I know a lot more today, but I wanted to be invited into more. And so I would even tell people if I was in their giveaway, I would say, hey, by the way, if you know anybody else who's doing a giveaway, let me know. I'd like to be in it. So start that spread of referrals. It'll help you a whole lot to really fill that up too. Now, these next 2 I've put in kind of a slightly different color here because these are, you're going to have to figure out ways in which to do it that don't kind of go outside the norm of the group. But if you're in a networking or a JV, a joint venture partnership group like JV Directory or JVMM, often, if they're doing something there, you could say, hey, I'm looking for contributors to my giveaway. So you could put it out into a networking group. And finally, this one is a really cool trick. And these, by the way, are often you're going to be finding people that you don't even know, these bottom two in the orange. I did this for a summit that I was doing, and you could do the same thing for giveaways as well. I was looking for someone in the space of conscious parenting, and I didn't know anybody who taught anything like that. So I went on to Amazon and I looked for books on conscious parenting, and I looked for what are the best-selling books. And I saw one was written by Dr. Gabriel Cousins. I went to his website. He had a contact us form. I reached out. I said, hey, would love to have you in my summit. Would you be interested? Bam, they jumped in. Now, I know it's a little bit different if you're going to charge them to be in your giveaway, but here's the thing, especially if they're an author, they want to sell more books. What better way to do that than to be in a giveaway, get a bunch of leads into their world to maybe buy more of their books? And so it's an investment, certainly, but it's an investment that generates leads. Okay. So these are a great way to find your expert contributors. And of course, if you're in the infinite list, like Monique is, we help you fill the rest. But for the four spots, if you're hosting, you need to fill in your own outside the community. And we do even give you swipe copy and how to send out that invitation to ask people to play. I'm going to give you a little side hack here too that I recommend. One of the main reasons that people will say no to you is because of timing. You may write to them and say, hey, I'd love to have you be in my giveaway. It starts in 2 months. Are you available to play? And they'll go, oh, sorry, I've got an event in that and I'm promoting my own thing. I can't do it. Here's a little trick you do. You have your giveaway that's scheduled for 2 months from now, and you have your next giveaway scheduled for 8 months from now. Okay. And maybe it's the same name, because once you've built a giveaway, my suggestion is you do them on a regular basis. Okay. Probably for a while, I was doing them quarterly, but I don't suggest you go that crazy just yet, but maybe just twice a year. But what's the benefit is if you've got 2 of them already open, when someone says no to the one in February, you say, well, okay, what about the one that I have in August? And if they were too busy in February and they're also too busy in August, they were probably just using an excuse anyway, but at least you've given them the option. All right. So it's a great little trick to, be able to get your enrollments up for that. Okay. Let's see. We got a quick question here in the chat from Ken. What if your target market is businesses that sell B2B, and so they might not be interested in typical lead magnets? They might not be, and it may be a little harder to do a giveaway with them because of how they grow their leads. This giveaways work a lot better, I think, for people who are like coaches. I think they work really well. People in this solopreneur, entrepreneurial space. But they can work for B2B as well. You just might have to get a little bit more creative and target who is going to be in it. And if you could break the mold for some of these organizations that might want to, like, they just don't know they exist yet, they might be interested, and you could pull it off and have it work really well. So could be really good. Okay. I'm going to jump back over now to our slides because we got to give you a little bit of dose of giveaway reality here. Giveaway reality, the truth, the dirty truth of giveaways. Open rates and click rates. Okay. Just because someone has a big list doesn't mean that their list is engaged. Maybe their open rate stinks and their click-through rate stinks. So you have to take all of these factors into consideration. It's also why I said sometimes people with smaller lists can do really well because maybe their list is newer and they're still engaged and all of that. So open rates and click-through rates can hurt a giveaway overall. You will encounter list liars. Okay. That's someone who you say minimum list size 2,000 and their list size is only 1,000. And they say, yeah, my list is big enough. I'll be in there. It's a trust system. And so the bottom line way that I look at it to tell if someone's kind of a list liar is you can look at and go, well, how many opt-ins did they send? So if someone tells you they got a list of 10,000 and they send you 2 opt-ins, you know that they're probably not telling the truth, or they just didn't mail. There's always that risk. which leads to the non-mailers, what I call freeloaders. It happens. I'm sorry. It's just a reality of the business that you will get someone in there, and sometimes they've got a good reason for it. Sometimes they forget. Sometimes they put the link in wrong. Sometimes they get sick. I mean, I've had people who said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I got sick and was out of commission for 3 weeks and didn't get to mail." It happens. But sometimes they're just people who will jump in and then they'll ghost you and they're freeloaders. So I always try to work with people that I know, like, and trust so that I minimize that. Giveaway reality by the numbers. So literally, we at Limitless like to over deliver, but under promise. And so in most of our giveaways, we say we're going to reach an audience of 60,000. Truth is, it's more like double that, 120 to 140,000. However, we also understand that with lower click rates, and sometimes there's overlaps of audience and all the other stuff, those all come into play. But a giveaway reality by the numbers is how many people are mailing, how big are their lists, how many times are they getting that mail out there. All of it is going to, really have the impact on the bottom line. So be realistic with the numbers that you're looking at. Okay. Now, the giveaway value of running a giveaway is you've got warm leads. I mean, these are people who, they were on someone else's list and they've been, following them, and they open their emails. So, they open the email about the giveaway. So, that there's some more value to them than just some potential troll who saw a post of something on Facebook. These are legitimate warm leads. They're more highly targeted. As we mentioned, you're really going to want to, do this in a way that, drive specific traffic, not just generic, but someone who's very interested in the topic of that giveaway. The giveaway value is that they're short duration to build and do. You do it, you're done. You build it up, it's open 3 weeks and game over. So it doesn't take a whole lot of effort in doing that. It builds your authority, because you're positioned as, especially if you're the host, you're positioned as the expert with all of these people who you got to play with you. So it sets you up as a real authority. And finally, it'll help you to grow your network. Because often you may be reaching out to people who don't know you, but they jump into your giveaway, they get a good result, and it's like, oh, cool. Hey, we could do business together other ways as well, or I can send clients to you. It really does help to grow your network too. And it's also the value of being in other people's giveaways as well, as you start to be seen with all these other experts, and you start to make these connections with other people that you're playing in the same sandbox as them. Okay. Now, I know some of you may have done a summit before, and I often get asked this, and so I wanted to do this side-by-side comparison. I teach summits too. I've been doing summits for 10 years as well. There's nothing wrong with summits. I'll probably still continue to do summits, but maybe just one a year. But the difference is this: giveaways are so much easier to do. They really are. You don't have to do any of the interviews. It's kind of, you're still building. If you're doing a summit, you still got to build all the same pages, but now you got to interview everybody. So the giveaway is so much easier to do than a summit. Next, you'll get more leads. Now, I know this seems counterintuitive, but you will. And the reason that you will is because for someone to sign up for your summit, they're making a commitment to listen to a whole bunch of interviews, right? With a giveaway, their commitments to look through it at their own leisure and pick the freebies they want. You will get more leads with a giveaway than you will with a summit. The results for the contributors are better. This is another reason why if someone invites me to be in a giveaway and another person invites me to be in the summit, I'm probably going to go with a giveaway over the summit. Because in the summit, well, first of all, it takes more effort on my part, because now I have to go and be interviewed or do a presentation or do a talk. But here's why I'd rather not, is the results are not going to be as good for me in a summit. Why is that, Michael? Well, in a summit, it starts kind of like a podcast, for my credentials that I've been teaching podcasting. In the summit, much like a podcast, the listenership drops off. First day of the summit, anybody who signed up for it, maybe they're all excited. The summit's starting great. I'm going to jump in. They listen to that first interview. And then by the second interview, 25% have dropped off. And by the third interview, another 25%. And if you're in day 3 of a summit, oh my goodness, good luck. Because the attention span drops. And therefore, I'm not going to get any opt-ins for me unless people see my talk. And fewer people are going to see it. I would rather them just opt into a giveaway, go through and see my gift right there, and bang, I will get better results. So that's another reason. It's also, as I mentioned, easier for participants. The participant is the person signing up to take advantage of it, because now they can go in and grab all these free gifts. They don't have to watch all the videos to see what is available for free even. They just go, it's quick and easy, grab what you want. And by the way, there are people I know, and when I do summits, I've kind of made a little bit of a hybrid, is I will create just all the gifts on one easy access page so that someone doesn't have to watch and listen to every single interview of the summit. And finally, you can do it in a much more consistent way. Giveaways, when done right, I did 26 last year. Okay. There's no way I could have been in 26 summits. That would have been nuts. And as a host, I hosted 7 giveaways last year through Infinite List because it's so much easier, and you'll understand why in a little bit. But I hosted through Infinite List 7 giveaways. There's no way I could have done 7 summits. Now, I can't even do more than 1. It just takes so much time and effort, all of the interviews and stuff. So it's more consistent because giveaways are easy. So as an ongoing strategy, this is my recommendation. Giveaways are great because it's a low cost per lead. It's consistent. It's high quantity of leads. They're warm leads, and it's easy to implement. As you saw, everything that I showed you, using giveaways as an ongoing, even if you're hosting or participating or both, which is the best of both worlds, is do both, you'll do much better. Amy Porterfield said, after 13 years in business, 46,000 students and 43 million in revenue, I can confidently say when your email list grows, your business grows with it. This quote, by the way, is a bit old, but it was the one that we had. Her business is now over 100 million. Okay, so she's really killing it, and she has a massive list. And I don't know that she does giveaways. I'm sure she's participated in giveaways, probably not as many now because I know she's into paid Facebook ads. But I can tell you this, giveaway hosting is one of the best, fastest, easiest ways. And at Infinite List, we make hosting easy. Okay, as a matter of fact, all of those pages I showed you, the swipe copy, the guest wrangling, the building of all those pages, we do it all for you when you're in pro membership level. Okay. Pro membership. Now you may be going, well, that must be expensive if you're going to run a giveaway for me. It's not. Infinite List makes hosting easy. It's $250 for your first month of membership, and that's just $125 per month thereafter. Or you can pay annually $1,350 for your first year of pro level membership. That's how easy it is. And you can be a host. Now, as Monique asked the question about, like, what are the requirements of a host and such, I do want to be real clear that we recommend, number one, when you join, like, let's say, as an example, someone who's listening to this right now, or maybe in playback later, you go, okay, well, I want to join just so I can do a giveaway. Great. A couple things. You can't join and have your giveaway open that day. You need to have time for you to enroll the people to sign up for it. So that takes about a 3-month window. Okay. So that's part one. We also require that all of our guests, all of our members who come in, you be a guest contributor in a giveaway before you host one. That way, you know how it works from the contributor side of our giveaways in our system, so that you're now better prepared as a host. So we do require that you jump in and play in a giveaway first as a contributor. So essentially, it would be $250 for first month, $125, and probably another $125. So it's going to be, by the time you run your giveaway, if you jumped in and tried to host one right away, it's probably going to be a little over $500. But still, we used to do this, we used to do done for you giveaway services where people would pay us $4,000 for us to run a giveaway for them. $4,000, as you can see, covers your whole first year of membership. Well, it actually covers about 3 years of membership. And you could run a giveaway every single year. So you can see it's a much better deal to be a member. Now, Here's the thing. I also want to show you, in case you're not ready to run a giveaway right now, maybe you just want to be in other giveaways, which I highly recommend that. If you're just starting out, get in a bunch of other giveaways first, learn how they work, meet more people, play in the industry. But as I mentioned, when I started out, I was not getting invited to be in a lot of giveaways. At the Infinite List, we provide them for you, and you're always invited. And so ultimately, if you'd like to get your leads for less than 50 cents each, you're not ready to host, but you still want clients, we make lead generation easy. You can join Infinite List now. Now, I want to be real clear. The level that I'm talking about right now is our Black Friday deal. Okay. This is not a regular offer and it's going to go away. But you can join Infinite List now at a special offer of only $750 for 12 months. You can participate in 12 or more giveaways during that 12 months, and you will grow your list by 1,500 or more. And if you don't, you can continue participation for free until you do. Because we know that if you play full out and you do this, you're going to get the leads. This does not include hosting. This particular special offer is only to participate in the giveaways, does not include hosting. So let's say you signed up for this special Black Friday deal, and about 6 months in, you go, I think I'm ready. I really want to host a giveaway. You can just do the upcharge of $500 and host a giveaway. Okay, so that's still doable. Oh, and there's one other piece I forgot that you should know as well. As the host and a member, when you refer someone to be in your giveaway and they pay $250, you get a 30% commission. So you refer 4 people to be in your giveaway. Not only are we doing all the work for you, you're going to get paid commissions in that. So that would be 4 times $75 right there. So you're talking $300 that you would make just even in the running of your own giveaway. And by the way, you don't have to stop at 4. We've had people who have filled their entire giveaway through their own outreach and made a really nice commission as well. Okay. So if you're interested in that offer, now this is a different QR code than the last one. Again, this one is our Black Friday special deal. It's $750 for the whole first year. It's essentially 50% off because Pro, if you were to pay monthly, if you're a regular member paying monthly, it's $125 a month. That's $1,500 for the year. This level, though, it's not Pro because you don't get to host your own, but you get a whole year for $750. So if that's of interest to you, please click on that QR code and you'll be able to get access to that. Now, here are just a couple of quick testimonials from some of our members, and we've got members, at least one member in the room. It might be more than one. But as a result, direct result of the Infinite List giveaways, I've gotten 3,161 leads and closed $10,757 in sales so far. That's from our member, Christy Rufino. And again, that's why I'm confident that we'll be able to get you those numbers of leads because we know that giveaways work. Virginia Parsons said, I'm so happy to have joined the Infinite List and to take part in so many powerful giveaways. My email list has nearly doubled in a few short months. I'm going to skip down to the next part where she says, I attracted 2 new clients in the first month. If you want to grow your list with new leads and attract more clients, joining Infinite List is a no-brainer. And here's the thing. How much value would 2 new clients be to you? And especially if over the course of the year, you add 1,500 new people to your list, how many of those are going to buy from you? So that's also going to offset your investment. So the ROI can be really wonderful here. Since pivoting my business and working with Michael and Krista, I've seen incredible results. My lead list has grown by 800 quality leads just since the spring. And this is from Nedra Wendell. And one of the things that I want to say here is she says, the coaching and guidance on running effective giveaways have been fantastic. Infinite List has shown me the right way to do it, and the results speak for themselves. In addition to membership and being able to do all of these giveaways, we do 3 Ask Me Anything calls every month, kind of like office hours, if you will. If you got questions about your lead magnet, need support on your opt-in page, any of those, you bring those to the Ask Me Anything calls and we help you there. And we do 2 community calls where you can network and grow your partnerships that you want to do and just generally speaking, build your business through a lot of really cool people in our community. And finally, here we have Diane Forrester said, I recently participated in my first giveaway, Rising Star Visibility Toolkit, and the results have been incredible. I managed to gain 88 new opt-ins. And here's the thing, 88 to me at first glance would feel like, oh, that's a little small. But it's not necessarily just about the numbers, because as you can see, she's already generated 16,000 in revenue from that. Now, these results are obviously vary and they're not going to be the same for everybody. It really depends on how much you play full out and how good are your sales in the back end. But here's one thing that I know for a fact. If you know how to always generate leads, a new flow of leads, you can continue to get your selling and fulfillment dialed in. You just keep getting better at it because you're getting more practice because you're constantly generating leads. So again, if you want to take advantage of the $750 special deal, this is the link for that right here. Just, scan in the QR code and go jump in. If you want to do the part where you're going to host, let us know. I can get you back to the other link later, or you'll get it in replay. I can also put it in the email follow-up that's going to go out to you. But the other, you could also be found on our website, infinite-list.com. That's just our regular pricing, which is super reasonable. But this special Black Friday deal we have, that's the QR code that you see right there. All right, let's see. Lynn says, I'd like to chat with you because my audience is so targeted. Cool. Michael and Chris are so generous with their strategies. I feel so. Oh, thank you, Monique. That is very sweet of you. Well, let's see. Lynn, how targeted is your audience? Let's find out.
My audience, who I want to sell my services to, is widows. And they're not going to be going to a giveaway, I'm sure. So, I'm not exactly sure how it would work for me.
Yeah. So that's a great question. That definitely is a target, highly targeted market. What I always tell people with giveaways is to think of, and I'm going to just stop the screen share here for a little bit. And if anybody needs a QR code, we can go back in a little. You got to think of, where are your ideal people hanging out? That'd be number one. Number two is, I always say, who has your list? Okay. If you were able to go out into the world and go, oh, they've got my list, I want that. Give me that list. You've got the list of the people that I want. So in your world, that's where I would say, go to people who've written books for widows, people who potentially serve widows. Again, it's going to be a little harder, but you're going to have to really target in on that. We had one of our members did this, which I'm just like, wow. Okay. This was Mary Highland. I helped Mary to launch her podcast, gosh, probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. And her podcast serves nonprofits. Okay. We don't have a whole lot of people in the nonprofit space.
Right.
Actually, I think Mary was the only one. So what Mary did, she's like, well, Michael, I get the concept of infinite lists. I think it could work really well, but you don't have other members. And I said, well, Mary, what I would do if I were you is you be the host and you go out and you enroll people to play in your giveaway, none of which were members. So Mary went out, she created her giveaway. She got 20 outside people, 20 plus, actually, I think it ended up being 24, to come and play in her giveaway. Each one paid. Mary got a commission on every single one of those. So she got double what her annual membership was. She got double in cash, plus she grew her list massively as the host. So in your particular case, if you were to do something like that, Lynn, I would do it kind of with two understandings. One is, I would definitely host. You should probably try to host your own, and find people who have your list. Authors who've written books. See if you can attract them. Now, I'm not saying it'll be easy, and I'm not sure of all the best places to find them, but you probably have some general ideas. That's the route I would go. Do your own giveaway. You can consider coming through us and doing it, or build all those pages on your own if you're up for it, for sure. Emma, you said you have a targeted list too. Who is your people? Who are your people?
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Mine is people, mainly women in recovery from addiction, but I'm in the UK. So I think somebody asked earlier, is it successfully done for non-US clients? So I think mine would fall under that as well.
Got it. Yeah. Do they need to be local? Do you
I've got
serve?
two.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I've got two. I've got coaching, which obviously can be anywhere, but I'm launching a subscription box.
Gotcha.
So
Cool.
that'll be
So,
obviously
because
local.
yeah. I would generally, as a rule of thumb, say giveaways are not effective, at least the way we run them. They're not effective for brick and mortar or locale places. They're better for worldwide reach. So, because you're going to be getting people all over the world. So, if you have something that can serve anybody anywhere, that will work best. And in which case, for what your particular element is, I would say that this would work for you because you could get in there. There are plenty of people in that space, and you could even create a specific giveaway similar and serve that. So I think it would work much easier for you than for Lynn, just because of your topic is they're a little easier to find, I think, potentially. Does that make sense?
Brilliant. Yes, thanks, Michael.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Rita has a question. What is the average earnings per giveaway for your members? Well, there is no average earnings per giveaway because there's multiple ways to slice that. So I would say one way would be to say, how much do they earn on people signing up to be in the giveaway? Because that's really the only thing we measure, first of all, is how much do we pay out in a commission for if someone signs up for your giveaway. As I mentioned, we had that person who just on her giveaway alone, just the giveaway from people signing up to be in it, she made about $2,250. So that was just on one giveaway. Now, did she make more in the back end from the 600 plus people that she got opted in? Probably. We don't track that. So we don't really have an average on that because it'd be really hard to track, honestly, because of every individual who's getting their stuff, and someone may not buy today, but they'll buy 6 months from now, or one person buys something big, but the others don't. I mean, it's just going to be kind of all over the map. So that's really a lot harder to track. Is it successfully done for non-US clients? As long as what you're promoting is not location based and what you can deliver works everywhere, I would say absolutely. So I have clients all over the world now because of doing things like giveaways. We have partners, members of Infinite Lists from all over the world. And when they're promoting, I mean, it just expands everybody's reach. So now because of that, I have clients in this country and clients in that country and clients in that country because we've expanded the reach through our membership being around the world. What kind of things work best for giveaways? Okay, I'm going to recommend for you with that question, Deborah, to watch the YouTube video on lead magnet makeover. Because one of the things I talk about there is what converts better. And what I find in giveaways that converts really well is going to be things like a cheat sheet, a quick guide, something like a template. Those things work really well because they're easy to consume and they're immediately available. People love that stuff. So those tend to do really well. Probably one of I had a friend of mine in one of our giveaways. He was promoting a legal templates. Like there were 8 different legal contracts, if you will, that were somewhat generic, but you could then take and use for your business. That went like crazy. So stuff like that you could put together works really well too. Let's see, did I get to all the questions in there? I believe so. So I'm going to go back to the slide one last time so that everybody gets it. And then we'll say, if anybody has another question, you can either raise your hand or pop it into the chat. I will let you know that the replay will be available of this by tomorrow. You'll get an email with the link to it in YouTube. But if you've already subscribed to our YouTube channel, or you go look for it, it's Infinite List 24/7. If you go find our YouTube channel, it'll be there even sooner. But yeah, just watch a lot of this stuff and really educate yourself on this. Because for me, if I had to start it all over from scratch, I would have been doing giveaways right out of the gate, and I would have been so laser focused on growing my list. And I'm going to tell you this, and this might be a little hard for some of you to hear because I hear this all the time. Folks will say, well, I'm not quite ready for that because I want to do this first. To which I say, BS. That's nonsense. Okay. Typically, one of the ones is I'm going to write my book first, or I'm going to create my course first. Okay. Those are common ones that I hear regularly. If you take a year to write your book, guess what? Now you've got your book, but you got no buyers. Now you got to start to grow your list. So why not, during that year of writing your book, start your list growing over here? You don't have to have anything to sell them yet. Just nurture the relationship, build it up, because ultimately then when your book is ready, you've got eager buyers. And I will say this too, because this just reminded me of a real world experience that was an eye opener for me. My first book is called The Art of Forgetting. The Art of Forgetting, Your First Step Towards Lasting Change. And I remember when I was starting to write that, a friend of mine who's published with New Harbinger, he said, "Hey, Michael, your book concept sounds great. Let me introduce you to my publisher." So talked with New Harbinger. They were very interested in the concept of my book. And they said, "Okay, cool. This sounds like it's great. We're going to send you an acquisitions questionnaire." Okay, because if they're going to publish my book, they had all these questions they had. So I start filling out this questionnaire, and it was elaborate, and I was giving all these details of the promise of the book and this layout and blah, blah. And then I got to this segment that said, how big is your email list? How many Facebook followers do you have? How many Twitter followers? And I'm reading, and I'm like, all of a sudden it dawned on me, I'm like, wait a minute. They want me to sell my book, not them selling my book. And it made me realize, and there's of course this whole thing about it now that they call it, is there's a joke around it, but it's a best-selling author, not a best writing author. Okay. You need to be able to sell your book. You will be so much more interesting to a publisher if you've got a big list. I promise you. So be smart. Start your list early. Don't wait. Nurture that audience, grow them, just continue to communicate, give value. You don't have to be selling anything. And then when stuff is ready to sell later, you've got that hungry audience. All right. So I hope this has been helpful for y'all. Any last questions? Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. We've gone a little over 90 minutes, which I'm fine with that. Good timing here. You're very welcome, Rita. I hope this has been helpful, and it'll be available on YouTube. If you need to play it back later to figure out, okay, what pages do I need to build? How am I going to do all this? It's absolutely there for your use. And I wish you the best with it. I started doing mine early on, like I said, and very quickly my list grew. I was up over the threshold to start playing more. Giveaways are an amazing way to do this type of stuff. And I'd love to have you all in the Infinite List community. Our Black Friday deal is going on for a while. You'll probably get some emails about it coming up during the week too. And I will continue to do these series with more trainings on different stuff as we grow. But it's really all about lead generation. And I hope you'll tune back in at another time for it. You guys have been great. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with me, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Ciao, everybody.